Happy Friday. You're going to have to remake your coffee because it's cold. We are a little late today, but we are still going to have this live.
Good morning, Sarah Thrifts.
Good morning.
Good morning, D. Serene Cells. Let's go. Today's going to be a fun one. Interesting and fun. And yeah, of course you're going to learn something out of it. Good morning, Ria Cells. Happy Friday.
Because it's Friday. We want to make it light and fun.
Yeah, today's going to be super fun, super interesting. So by the way, wanted to share with you guys really quickly a sale that we had yesterday. We sold this turntable for $104. We paid $12.50 for it. Notice though we have free shipping on it. You win some, you lose some, right? Good morning, DW Hazy. Good morning, Blue Sky Style 1. Happy Friday to you. If you guys have any questions or any comments during the live, don't be shy and click on the question mark sticker below. And we will display your questions.
Today, we're going to talk about the history of yard sale.
Yeah, but isn't it today Juneteenth too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Today is Juneteenth.
So a lot of companies are celebrating that. It should be a national holiday.
New York declared for government agencies it's a national
holiday. Yeah. So happy Juneteenth. A lot of companies are just deciding, hey, it's a holiday.
Yeah.
Take it off. Okay, so really quickly though, do you know how yard sales got started? Does anyone know the history about yard sales?
I actually have no clue. When I was young, every time I see the word garage sales, I think people are selling their garages.
Ria Sales, where are you working? So she's off from the government. That's fantastic. Where are you? Remind us, where are you located? Happy day off too. I mean, happy, Juneteenth and happy day off. So, we don't have the day off because, Michelle's company didn't give it to her. And, so Pennsylvania, is that like the whole state that is off from the government in Pennsylvania? So Michelle works for a publicly traded company, in marketing. They're not off. I'm a teacher. I'm never off because I'm always working. So Michelle can attest to that. Riasel said yes. That's fantastic. That's so super duper awesome. Anyway, we're going to discuss a little bit about how the yard sales got started. I don't know about you guys, but I love a good yard sale.
Yeah.
How about you? Riasel said she works for the state.
I always wonder how that concept got started. And actually, it started in the early 1800s.
Yeah. And we do hope you have a wonderful day off for yourselves because I know you're a busy, busy lady. So enjoy it. Do some self-care time as well as working, right? Do a little bit of both. Okay, go on, Michelle.
So yard sale actually started in the shipping yards. That's where, I don't know if the word yard came from, but shipping yards would sell unclaimed cargo and leftover warehouse items at a discounted price. These stocks were known as rummage sales. And after that, it has evolved to the late 1800s. It's actually rummage, RUMMAGE, sales become the modern day rummage sale. Move off the shipping docks into the community. So they would have charity bazaars and the outdoor spaces like churches.
That's not modern day now, the late 1800s,
yeah.
Right? But notice how it evolved. Good morning to Vintage Joy Life. Just want to say happy Friday to you and congratulations on all the followers. I notice you're at 1,200 now, so that's fantastic.
All right.
Okay, so we'll continue.
So after the 1800s.
All right, so 1950s through the 1960s, the yard sale, like what we know it as today, is believed to have begun during, post-World War II period during the 50s and 60s. So many people at this time started moving to suburban houses, right? Where they actually had yards, right?
That's
where
true.
they could have these sales. Now, try to remember how far back, what is like your first memory of a yard sale? I can tell you that I remember, some of my first memories were like my aunt. I know my aunts she always puts sales at her home. in where she lives in Los Angeles, they only let you do it once a year, and you have to have a permit, and you have to pay for the permit. It's like this big thing, right? So I remember going to hers, and it was super fun because you get to sell stuff. It was super duper fun. But then later, when we moved to the suburbs, I guess when we moved to the suburbs, as a kid, we had a yard sale. Don't let her go. Don't let her go. Don't let her go. Hold her. Sorry, our dog's going crazy because the gardener's here since we're late on our live today. But I remember we had a yard sale at home, right? And the first time with my mom, my dad, and my younger siblings, and it was I don't know, it was kind of strange as a kid. You don't know what's going on. You're like, why are all our stuff getting sold on the driveway? So I was a little awkward as a kid. And then growing up, my mom would have them all the time, and she would give stuff away for 50 cents, for $1, you know. And now our mom gives us her items so we can sell them. But anyway, let's continue with this one. Michelle, you want to go on there?
Yeah, in the 1970s to 1990s, yard sale continues to increase its popularity. Consumer goods become more affordable, and people own more stuff. So the more stuff you own, the more stuff to sell. I wasn't here in the 90s, but was that pretty popular?
Yeah, of course. That's what in the 90s is when we had our first garage sale in our home, that my dad and my mom decided to do. I don't know why. I was a child. I remember coming home from school. I was 13, and I went in through the backyard gate. I don't know why, but I was like embarrassed that we're having a yard sale. Like I'm a child. I don't know anything.
That's funny.
I was confused. I was like, what's going on? And I remember my dad making fun of me at that time. He was laughing at me because I was like, embarrassed or whatever. But so they were very popular in the 90s. I guess at that time, it says here that we started, in the 90s is when we started getting stuff from China made. So, at that time, consumerism started to really grow. Like right now, it's huge, right? Consumerism is it's off the wall. All right, good morning. So, A Vintage Joy Life says, oh, dropping knowledge, I love it. Thank you, Joy. Ria Sells, I participated in a church one back in the 80s in the city, and I worked my butt off. And I made $300. That's so awesome. In the 80s, that's a really good chunk.
Started young.
Blue Sky Style 1 says, we always have garage sales when we were moving. That makes sense. Sorry about the doggy. We have the gardener here. She's like freaking out. Good morning, Jack Plummer. Good morning, Eco Exchange. Happy Friday. Okay, and Jack Plumley said, my dad started having garage sales in the 90s. Totally the same happened to me with my dad. My mom and dad, they started having the garage sales in the 90s. Totally remember that. And they were popular. People would stop by in droves, buying things. And we were basically giving things away at a quarter, 50 cents, $1. And Michelle's from the 90s, not from the 90s, sorry, from
80s.
She was living in the Philippines in the 90s. And then she moved to the United States for college. And, I'm an English as a second language teacher. And I love talking to my students about garage sales. And they're like, what is that? It's not like a universal worldwide thing. Jack Plumley said, I like, oh wait, I already read that one. Echo Exchange said, I like hosting yard sales. Great for getting rid of things. 100% agree with that. We do yard sales now as well. We did one before the whole shutdown, and it went really well. Blue Sky Style 1 said, my dad had moved out of my parents, We're getting a divorce, and my mom sold all his clothes. Blue Sky Style 1 said, yes, we've definitely ran across a couple of situations like that with divorces and garage sales. Ego Shin said, in other parts of the country, they are called garage or tag sales. Didn't know that. Definitely know it's, yard sale, garage sale. Never heard of tag sale. Good morning, Six Creative Concepts. Happy Friday, Karen. Nice to see you. So in the 1990s to 2000s, people started using the internet to find and advertise yard sales in addition to newspapers. So if you guys can recall newspapers back in the day, those of you who were around at that time, Vintage Joy Life said, I remember having garage sales as a kid, and I was apparently a hustler as a kid with my cookie sales. Cookie sales, were you a Girl Scout, or did you guys bake cookies and sell them at your garage sale? Definitely not surprised, because you're a hustler still right now. Six Creative Concept says, hi, good ladies. XOXO. XO hugs and kisses to you, Karen. Hope you're doing okay. All right, so presently, we have the internet and mobile devices. Mapping tools make it easier than ever to find bargains. We are in the right business. We are in the right place to make extra dollars, extra money. It's crazy how many things around us are available to make money right now. And I mean, even with the coronavirus pandemic happening right now, cases are spiking all over the place. So if you want to be safe, there's ways that you can, yard sale's better right now than going to the store. If it's out in the open, you could stay away from people. Vintage Joy Life said, we bake them. Oh, that's so cool. I'm sure, how could somebody say no to a kid, right? Hustling, selling cookies. Ria Sell said, we never had them growing up. My parents were organized collectors. They kept everything in the box and we never sold anything. That is amazing, Ria Sells. I understand that. Yeah, my parents growing up were, I think, minimalists. So our house barely had stuff anywhere. So we're, that's really, really cool. I mean, I love collectors, right? I love collectors. I wish we were more organized in collecting things, but we're resellers, so we're disorganized collectors. Ria Sell says, wasn't until I was an adult that I did it. Awesome. So if you guys are enjoying this live, feel free to hit the like button on the right and show some love. We appreciate the engagement. Blue Sky Style One said, I can't believe how many electronics I just threw away when I could have made mad money on them now. I think we've all been there. Done that. Blue Sky Style One. Do not be so hard on yourself. There's plenty of opportunity right now. Just the click of a button away on your cell phone. National Garage Sale Day. Do you guys know that there is such a thing? It's coming up actually. It is going to be, it's usually August the 10th of every year. Ria Sell said, same, I had an Atari. Yeah, Ataris are BOLO for sure. Those are really, really cool. And do you guys know about the world's longest yard sale? Does anyone know about that? If you are in the middle of the US, you might know about it. The world's longest yard sale, the 127 Corridor Sale, is an annual event. It's held in August that spans 690 miles along Highway 127 from Michigan to Alabama. Thousands of sellers take part in this. It's been one of my dreams to go visit this event. So one day we'll have to check it off of the bucket list. So let's take a look at some famous yard sale finds, which are going to make yard sailing very intriguing for you, and rummage sailing. Okay, so pictured here is a beautiful black and white photography. This person bought for $45. It was, okay, I'll read it to you. It says, Rick Norsegian bought 65 peculiar glass plates at a Los Angeles warehouse salvage sale in the year 2000. The plates were later confirmed by a team of experts to be original photographic negatives taken by the famed nature photographer Ansel Adams and appraised as much as $200 million. So honestly, these are the reasons why I love garage sailing, is because I want to find the treasures. And we have found our fair share of treasures doing this. How about you guys? Have you guys found anything like this before? So here's another famous yard sale find. So I don't know if you noticed a certificate, right? Well, what kind of certificate is this? It was bought for $5 and it's valued at $130 million. First of all, let's find out, where can you find this, right? In 2008, Tony Maron, good morning, Hidden Treasures, Posher, happy Friday. So Tony Maron bought a box full of old papers at a garage sale for $5 and discovered when he got home that the inside it contained a stock certificate foreign oil company, which was acquired by Coca-Cola, now worth at 1.8 million, shares of stock. Shares, guys. So in monetary value, it was worth $130 million. So, keep an eye out for stock certificates when you guys are garage sailing. Let's take a look at another really cool famous yard sale find. So this one here was bought for $5 and it was worth $2 million. So in 2012, a man bought a sketch at a Las Vegas yard sale for $5 that turned out to be an original Andy Warhol painting that was appraised at $2 million. Like, honestly, when you go to garage sale, do you even look at these sketches? I mean, I usually don't. I usually don't buy sketches, but I think I'm going to start paying attention because, no offense, Andy Warhol, but it almost looks like something an amateur artist would draw, wouldn't you say? Yes. So, Rhea Sells is saying, OMG, wow. And Michelle Sia, that's Michelle's account, guys. If you want to follow her, she says, hi, I'm here. A Vintage Joy Life says, goals. That's right. Let's go get this money that is out there waiting for us to find it, right? These treasures. Another famous yard sale find. The price was paid of $50 and it was valued at $50,000. Avid gamer Rob Walters knew he'd discovered a gold mine when he picked up a box full of old Nintendo games for $40. Oh, I guess he paid $40, not $50, at a yard sale. The total value of the box's contents was $50,000. With a single limited edition Nintendo Campus Challenge 1991 World Championship cartridge selling on eBay for $20,000 in 2009. So these are still out there, right? You just got to think outside the box, but these kinds of finds are still out there. Now, A Vintage Joy Life said, I would have totally walked past that. 100% would have done the same with that painting there, that sketch there. All right, so this one is actually really cool. Famous yard sale find. So the price paid was $4 and it's valued at $2.42 million. If I found this one, I would have been probably the most excited because I love historical items. So this really happened, all right, in Philadelphia, which is where Rhea sells. You're in Pennsylvania, right? A financial analyst picked up an old painting at an Adamstown, Pennsylvania flea market. But his vintage painting contained an amazing secret. Hidden behind the artwork was a rare copy of the Declaration of Independence. It was sold at an auction in 1991 for $2.4 million. Now, I don't know if any of you guys sell books or if you follow accounts of people who sell books, but when you are sourcing books, it's really important that you always kind of flip through the book and look for money. Because I don't know if you guys do it, but a lot of people stash money in their books. And it happens in clothes, it happens in bags, right? We sell clothes and bags too. So always check pockets, always check in between books, and I guess now always check behind old vintage paintings. So yeah, really quickly, Michelle Sia, she had to leave because she's actually working. She said, this one is crazy. I always wonder if he would find stuff in pockets from the clothing items we source. Yeah, we need to look at the pockets more often, 100%. All right, here's another famous yard sale find. This one was acquired for 75 cents and it sold at $155,000. So this is a vinyl record, and while most records aren't worth much money at all, you could buy vinyl records for $1 these days, but a record collector who knew what he was doing clearly, Warren Hale discovered an unreleased first album for, it's called Velvet Underground. Are you guys familiar with this group? At a New York City garage sale in 2002, which he later sold for $155,000. Good morning, Mama Ventures. Happy Friday to you. So, these are just a few of the finds. You guys can Google to find more of these kinds of things. And, why is it important to know this stuff? Because when you are, garage sailing, estate sailing, you might be able to find some of these things, but you have to know what you are looking for, right? Good morning, Richard Bolton. Happy Friday to you. Ria Cell says, I know Velvet Underground because I'm old. That is so cool. So you can relate maybe to how cool of a find that would have been. I mean, any unreleased album by a famous artist would be amazing, right? Like imagine you're garage sailing and you find like an unreleased album of Michael Jackson. I mean, obviously that's going to go for millions of dollars, right? So last but not least, our meme of the day. Check this one out. Look at this really puzzled look, right? So you're at a thrift store. When the thrift store cashier asks if you've found everything you were looking for. Well, you know, you're at a thrift store, right? It's like when you go to the thrift store, you just never know what you're going to find. So anyway, so I think the meme was read backward, right? When you're at the thrift store and the cashier asks if you found everything you're looking for, you have a puzzled look on your face because you're at a thrift store. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend. Get your notebooks out, write down your goals, do a little bit of self-care, and make things happen. So if you need a little bit of encouragement, you know, talk to us, DM us, engage with us in our comments. We post stories daily, and we're happy to connect with all of you. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Friday, and we will see you guys Saturday for BOLOs Saturday tomorrow at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. Have a wonderful day.